Well folks, I'm at the big Wainihinihi River bridge. I'm here for a reason today. On the coast we have what is a coaster's special electricity tax because of the Transpower line losses coming into the coast. And it costs us all between 12 and 20%. But we also pay what we call the coaster's freight tax. Now it's really special. What it does is every bit of road freight comes in with an extra tax, and that places an increase on every item that ends up in the shops and the supermarkets. Now, how does this happen, you might ask? Well, we have 5 bridges going to Christchurch that are weight restricted, and trucks can only go over with a maximum weight of 50 tonnes. In other parts of the country it's 68 tonnes. So our major exporters have to forego at peak 18 tonnes on every load across the hill. It's a coast special tax which makes every freight truck that goes over this bridge having to leave $720 of freight in Christchurch, or alternatively back on the coast. And you and me as consumers, we pay this cost directly. So you might ask, how many trucks a day go between Kamara and Christchurch? We reckon it's about 80, and so both ways that's 160 truck movements. So here's the spin, here's the bit that really hurts. That's $115,200 every day at peak of our special coast tax that every company that is exporting from the coast and our coasters are paying for goods coming to the coast, and we take it on the chin as an extra cost. We actually don't need to. Upgrading the bridging on State Highway 73 is urgent, and it makes good economic sense. It might not stack up with what goes on in Auckland, but it certainly makes sense for an area that's struggling economically. State Highway 73 retains 5 bridges that are unable to adequately cater to HP, MV and 50-tonne max vehicles. This results in vehicles loaded to an 80% capacity in order to be able to traverse this route. Extended travel routes or unmaximised freight capacity increases the cost of freight, which makes this inefficient for business through increased travel costs. Improving this route will not only benefit the West Coast, but will lead to achieving outcomes sought in the government policy statement for land transport 2021 by supporting economic prosperity as well as assisting the transition to net zero carbon emissions by reducing travel times and volumes. Now NZTA, or Waka Kohai, has promoted State Highway 7 via the Lewis Pass as the HP MV route for the transport of freight from the west coast to Canterbury. This option is completely unviable for business located in the Grey and Westland districts of the west coast, as it requires several hours of extra travel from point of origin to destination. State Highway 73 is a pivotal supply chain route for business and communities on the west coast. Long-term improvements to bridging stock will lead to enhanced business confidence and certainty. These are critical matters for investment in the region and economic development. Now, we don't expect the immediate replacement of these bridges. Instead, what we need to know is that NZTA are planning to address the replacement or strengthening of these bridges over the next 5 to 10 years to bring the route up to a standard suitable for catering to HP MV and 50-ton maximum vehicles. Now these vehicles are designed to allow for the safe and more efficient transport of freight goods, and the improvement of this route is a pivotal factor for the success of the primary production sector on the west coast. The bridges that require strengthening or replacement are the Griffin, which is on the west coast here, the Taipo River Bridge, the Big Wainini, which is where we are now, the Bearley Bridge at Klondike, and the Limeworks Bridge at Springfield in Canterbury. Kind of makes sense, doesn't it? But there's no doubt that we've been attempting for 5 years to get these bridges addressed. Every year they're brought up. Every year the NZTA team shakes its head and looks knowingly and nothing happens. I'll just tell you a bit about this bridge. This is like most of the underweight bridges here on the coast, built in about 1935. It's on State Highway 73, and it was built in 1935. It was selected as one of these 10 because of an aging single lane steel girder bridge with a timber deck. The conventional rating for it is relatively low, and it is also representative of a large number of road bridges maintained by local government agencies throughout the country. However, the fitness for purpose evaluation of this bridge indicates that the bridge will safely carry heavy traffic currently using the route, but it won't allow weights of over 50 tonne. So you heard the figures, coasters. They're massive figures. We're talking $115,000 of cost every day at peak. And quite frankly, I think we can do better, and it's something that is going to be raised on numerous occasions during 2021. Catch you later.